Well, good morning everybody and welcome to the end of October. I got another coffee in, not 2 weeks ago, but I got one in today, 2 this month. Woohoo! At least I did that. First off, I like to say before I start rambling on about everything is thank you very, very much for everybody who has commented, messaged me, private messaged me, and asked how are you doing, and Mary, we knew your surgery was on the 10th, and how did it go, and how are you feeling? We haven't heard from you. I've had a few postings here and there of some miscellaneous stuff, and my puppy's in here and she's upset she can't be on my bed. So I'd like to say thank you again for everybody's concern and kind comments, and she's just having a fit today and whatnot. She wants to look out the window, something bad, because the curtains are drawn in the living room, so the window in here she can look out, and she wants to get up there. So excuse her. So thanks very much, and well, to recap my surgery, it did not go like my first surgery went. Remember I told you how my first surgery went very well. Right out of surgery I could move it and the pain was diminished, and well, surprise surprise, this one did not go that well, that way. It went well, it went how it should go, but it didn't come out of it like I thought. First of all, the hospital was great. Mayo in Red Wing was wonderful. The staff was wonderful. The accommodations were great. Everybody's service to me was lovely. It was just a realization of I was lucky with this surgery. This is what normally happens during those surgery times, which I wasn't expecting or waiting for. I thought it would be just like this one. Well, this one apparently was just a fluke. They don't usually go that well. So went in there, and one thing that threw me for a loop was they did a nerve block, which is once they sedate you, I didn't even know when they did it, they go in there and it blocks a nerve and it paralyzes your whole arm for 24 hours. And if that isn't a strange feeling, and I tell you, it gives you a whole different view and empathy and sympathy for people who are truly paralyzed. This was a temporary just my arm thing. But it was true. I mean, you could have cut knives into my arm and I wouldn't be able to feel it at all. It was just dead weight hanging there, and I had to have it in a sling, so I just didn't, like, you had no control from here down. I couldn't move it. I had no control. I tell you what, it put things into perspective regarding other people's lives and stuff. This was just a small, minute, microscopic sliver of what people live with, but it gives you a different perspective of that whole realm of living and stuff. And I was waiting to move my arm when I got out of surgery. Well, that was paralyzed, so I'm like, okay. Well, along with the nerve block, sometimes it causes a little bit of issue with your diaphragm, so you can't lay down and sleep because you feel short of breath because of the diaphragm. So I had to sleep sitting up, which I didn't even sleep. I didn't sleep all night. And when it started wearing off the next day, I was ready to move it. Yeah, it wasn't like that. When I came out of it, I moved it to approximately where it was prior to surgery, maybe a little more. Oh, so amidst, because I had been on call and no sleep. The night before surgery I didn't sleep. The night after surgery I didn't sleep. I was going on just a couple hours of sleep. So when I went into my physical therapy appointment, and I was just like, what's going on, and why is it not moving? And you know, Marsha, and she's so awesome. This is kind of what it is truly like for these surgeries, and you know, what? I was just like, oh my gosh. I was just dumbfounded. Excuse me. You can't go up there. There's no place for you, puppy. It just like, I'm like, what? Yep. So, you know, we have to, you know, you had all those months and months of rehab that didn't help. Then you think, when I got surgery, then it will be like at least partially. Oh, I was like, nope, we got to work it. And I'm like, oh. And I broke down. And it wasn't only the stress from the shoulder and the immense pain from the shoulder for months and months of not getting where, the disappointment and realization of what's going on with the surgery and what happened after surgery, my expectations were, which were way above what they should be from the surgery. And unfortunately, the flood came upon us. I just started sobbing and couldn't talk. I felt so bad for Marsha. I said, Marsha, I'm so sorry. It's just an accumulation of my expectations and living with this and what I was hoping for, and I said a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm dealing with, and she worked on me a little bit. and let me, cause she goes, oh Mary, I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. And I'm not, I mean, I'm a cry person when it comes to, I don't like certain, like when I watch certain videos, you know, those Facebook ones, like, or TV, but like when it comes to dealing with life, I am not normally a teary person, except when you have accumulation of many things, and then, you know, I think you just hit your stopping point. So, it's doing better. PT in it, I've got to do a lot of personal work on it, and I've been very diligent. Sometimes work gets in the way of keeping the PT up, and if I don't do it, boy, then my work day, I can tell. But I can get, that is like, remember before it was like this, before. Could get it up like this, and if I move it with this arm, I can passively move it. I can get it behind my head, and it's very sore in the muscles, and I can passively move it, which means I have to have help getting it to where it needs to be. It's because all those little muscles haven't been used for, this is Marcia totally, I didn't come up with this on my own, haven't been used for so long because this shoulder, rotator cuff, scapula has been moving as one unit for so long that now that my shoulder has mobility back, all those little teeny muscles have to learn to work again and get their muscle memory back. And something that, you know, I can move with this arm, like this one's like, I'm lifting like a ton of bricks. Like, what the heck? Because there's no strength from lack of use, and the muscle memory's gone because they haven't been used. So on the road, it's been, I had the surgery, thought I'd go back to work that Monday. I could not. Oh Lord. I was off the whole next week, and I went in for PT during that week, and then it was like PT, self-PT every 2 hours. I was diligent. I did everything every 2 hours. Up to the point I went back to work. So then I'm kind of like struggling again because you're working, and I try to stretch it and do stuff, and I know that I've kind of like lost the momentum of it because I'm working, so you don't get to work it every 2 hours fully for whatever I was doing. So it's kind of like gone back a little bit, not bad. And it's just going to take time now, but I've got the mobility back. It's just working it. I really didn't get true 100% mobility back on this arm and behind my back and stuff for years, a couple of years. Didn't get full mobility back after surgery. It was like stuck, and it took years of stuff to get it back. So I'm on the road. It's getting there. I'm able to sleep now. The pain has cut in half where it's just like the pain now isn't like sharp, I want to cry, and pain it is like you've been working out in the yard raking leaves or shoveling all day. It's that kind of sore achiness now, not that I can't take it, and I can sleep, and I can lay on it, and all that good stuff. So it's coming along. Thank you very much for everybody who's been with me. It's coming now, and I'm just on the road to recovery and doing what I need to do, and it's going to be slow, but it's going forward, not going back. Pain is decreasing, and so that's all I hope for. So we've been dealing, I personally have been dealing with all of that myself independently. And we have had lots of, and I kind of touched base with you why we didn't go to Mississippi Mayhem, with a family issue on my husband's side. And that's what we've been dealing with for 2 months. With many, many different aspects of, and it's down to the bottom line, it is working with somebody who is unreasonable and unbending, and I'm trying to think of a good way to, and so there's problems with selfishness, and it's not me or my husband or my son or anything like that. It's who we have to deal with, who it has affected my life, my son's life, my husband's life extremely this last 2 months, to the point where some decisions had to be made and things had affected our family unit here, unfortunately, stuff. But we've come to a point, it's not where we want to be or where any of us want to be, but it's livable, and we're doing what we can with what we can work with somebody who will not work with us. Vague, I know, but out of respect to my husband, I'm not going to really say any more of that. But it has affected all of us, and it's been extremely, and it's always been hard dealing with this individual since we've been married. Since, you know, ever since I've known the family, the whole family has had issues off and on through years with this individual. And now it has extremely affected our family to a point where it's caused some problems. But we're getting through it. We've come to a compromise internally. Not with this person, but within our family unit, of how we can live with it, move forward, go on, deal with it the best we can, where we all can have the best quality of life that we can at this time. very vague, and I'm very sorry about that. But my husband just doesn't want me to share more than that. So we're all okay. We're all healthy. We all love each other. But we're just living our lives how we all can individually. And I'll leave it at that. I wish I could share more, and I would like to, but just out of respect, I will not. So that has been very emotionally draining on me, to the point that I can't even believe I cannot even tell you, because it's not only all this physical stuff that I've been doing, it's been the psychological and emotional things that I've been dealing with, and family members have been dealing with. That is so unbelievably draining, and I'm sure you can kind of see it, not with only, probably maybe thought it was just my shoulder. It was this other aspect. So we've come to I don't think you can consider it a compromise, but something that each of us as individuals can all live with and have some semblance of life together, I guess that's how I'll say it. So with that, that is another aspect of why I haven't been doing kind of what I wanted to do. You have to accommodate, and you have to do for others, but you also have to be, you have to have your own life also, and you can't get to the point where you sacrifice so much to somebody who isn't appreciative of it and is selfish, that you don't have your own life. You have to live your own life too, and you have to be happy in your own life, and sometimes it's the lesser of the evils that you have to do. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm okay. Everything's okay. We're going to work it out the best we can and move forward. Unfortunately, it's my husband who has to deal with the brunt of the decisions that have been made, and I feel extremely bad and sorry for him, but sometimes you can only help those who want to help themselves. With that being said, sorry it's vague. Let's move on. My campers up north are all shut down and cleaned out, and I was going through therapy during those last 2 weeks. But I did it up there. I'm sure I looked like a fool out in the yard doing some of the things I was doing, but that was okay, because just for better health. During this last couple weeks, I've lost 5 pounds. I think because I'm active. I'm active again. I feel like walking and going. My puppy was just tired out. I took my youngest one up there. She's 5 or 6. She's laying here. She gave up on the bed. Stop one. She loved it. She hasn't been up there because through the years, either it's been chaos. My brother had his dogs up there when he stayed with me for many years. With the new trailer, my nephew stayed with, who then stayed with me, brought his dog up. So I didn't want to bring up my dogs till I got to the point where, and he came to the realization that I wasn't happy with his dog up there. I'm like, okay, I'm sacrificing bringing my own puppy dogs up there to accommodate others, when it's always been my own independently owned trailer, and I let family members stay up there. And you always kind of don't want to upset them or keep the peace, so you let them do what they do. But it's kind of your fault because you don't speak up about it either. And then my nephew decided last year that it was a lot of work to bring his dog up, and I said, good, because I was going to say, I don't want your dog up here anymore. It's a puppy, it's all over, it's hyper, and it's not only the puppy you're dealing with, it's the owners of the puppy dealing with their puppy, and it all over, and it's a shedder. It's a shedder. It jumped up on bed, which I got dogs, our dogs are on my bed, rubbed its face, and like, yeah, good morning, and when it was gone, there's a big thing of fur. Stuff on my couch. When he did move the kennel, there's a big line of fur there. I'm like, so I was glad he decided independently did not bring his dog up anymore, because he had his mom, my sister, who stayed at the trailer, because it's too hard for her to come up, babysit the puppy. Now next year, my sister may not be back up all the summer months, so I'm going to have to say, and it's a medium-sized dog, the puppy's got to be outside in the kennel and covered up, and he'll be warm, and I want to have my puppies up there because it's my trailer. My puppies have only come up very few times. It'd be too confusing and hard for she's out there too, older puppy to come up, because she would know our smells and stuff, but then this other wild dog running all over the place would be barreling through there. She's used to her younger sibling here, and Molly just had the best time up there. She was running, chasing squirrels, and I went for my exercises every 2 hours, and that stuff I have to do laying down or in all kind of weird positions. And then we went for 6 or 7 good long walks, and then hanging out down the lake and just hanging out the camp. She was exhausted. She was exhausted. She slept like a rock up there. She didn't ask to get out in the middle of the night or in the morning. I had to get her up and say, hey, it's 8:30. Don't you want to go outside and go potty? And then we got home. She was wiped out for like 2 days. She didn't get up from a little cushy little bed for like 2 days hardly, except to do the necessities of life and eat because she was so tired. So she loved it up there. So I totally am going to bring my puppies, and once my blind puppy gets accustomed to the layout, and it's very simple and there's not clutter, she'll be fine up there too. And we'll kind of take back the domain for my puppy dogs, which will be nice. Because sometimes you don't want to, sometimes you think if I don't speak up, we'll keep the peace. But that somebody in your family, I won't say what, says something to you, and you look at them like, I would never say that in a million years, just out of, I don't know, just because I wouldn't say it, you know, something that would be negative or maybe hurtful. And then somebody says it to you, and then you look at them like, did that just come out of your mouth when you do A, B, C, D, and E, and F for them? Which had recently happened to me. So I'm just like, oh man, I said, my perspective on a lot of things has really changed this last summer, this last 3 or 4 months. You don't want to become hard and bitter, but you don't want to be railroaded. And sometimes when you try to accommodate everybody in your life and your family to make everybody happy, so everybody gets along, and to keep the peace, sometimes it takes parts of you away. I mean, it kind of chips away at you, and that's kind of what's been happening to me, or just caught up with me, I guess, because I've always been that person. My mom gave up doing family events and family things when I was in my 20s, and she says, it's yours now. I don't want to do it. I can't do it anymore. I remember looking at my mom thinking, Mom, you're in your 50s. What do you mean you want to stop having? Now that I'm in my 50s, and I've been doing it for 25 years, I see her perspective now. It's funny when you get to your parents' age and you look back and like, why did they say or do that or feel that way or act that way? And then you're like, oh, you know, my mom and dad are long past, and I'm like, I get it now. I understand. And oh, you know, mom's a little crabby or mom's a little short. I get it. Hey, Mom. I get it and I see it now. But you got to keep your own sanity, and you got to make yourself happy, and you can't always sacrifice yourself to make others happy, because it's going to catch up with you, it's going to eat at you, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out some way. You don't want that, because you want to be who you are. And I love life, and I love my family, and I love doing things. Sometimes you need to speak up. I'm kind of passive aggressive. Kind of just speak up, but respectfully, or respectfully too, and get it out there, and say things and do things and stuff, and I've kind of done that with some of my siblings, and we've come to a zen moment. Like, you know, I get where you're coming from, and I see where you're coming from, and we're all older now, but that hasn't maybe come across to all my relatives yet. Hopefully it will eventually, but it is what it is, and it kind of is that way when you're kind of the matriarch of the family, which I have been for years. When you try to hold everything together, man, it's taxing, and you finally get to the point where you just want to deal with your own husband, children, immediate things, where sometimes you think, or you might just say, hey, you know what, that wasn't called for to say, or you don't need to say that, or if you can't be respectful of the fact that I'm going through all this shoulder stuff, and I still kept doing all the family activities and all the, man, it was hard. And then when a family member comes to you and says, well, you were kind of short and crabby that weekend because you were dealing with so much pain but trying to pull off the whole thing, you look at them like, did you just say that I was crabby and I accommodated you and your whole family and other guests and other things going on, and oh, you just kind of roll your eyes and you bite your tongue, but it kind of eats at you a little bit. So I did say something to this family member's mother. I said, you know, it made me mad, and it was hurtful and not very understanding, considering everything that you put up with and that you're dealing with in your own personal life and health. So anywho, I just kind of started speaking up. And like I said, try to be very respectful when you're speaking your mind. You don't need to, when people have discussions, you don't need to get all hot under the collar, screaming and yelling at each other, because where's that going to get? And that just makes you more upset in the situation, more escalated. Talk respectfully. Talk forward to somebody, talk directly to somebody, and say your truth, and try to understand what theirs is. Come to a common ground, but always be respectful of all. Anyway, get off my soapbox. up north's all closed down. Me and my brothers all worked on that together. My brother Donnie, my brother Dean, and we got it all taken care of. It was beautiful. It was not this weekend. It was the weekend before. Gorgeous. Most beautiful October weekend I can remember. Warm, almost a little humid, warm breeze. We had fires. We cooked out. It was just, and the leaves, the weekend before, the leaves were at the peak beautiful. This last weekend we were up there when we were doing final close up. It was beautiful. Weather was beautiful, and the leaves were falling like snow. It was just the most beautiful, most magical weekend, and we all just enjoyed being with each other and being around each other, because I won't see my brother Dean until spring, which is sad, but it is what it is. And my brother Donnie I'll see maybe 2 or 3 times over the winter because of work schedules and whatnot, and we try to get together, but sometimes you just pull it off. So it's kind of sad. It's the end of the season. A little vintage camper is still sitting out front. I have not closed it down. It's pouring a little antifreeze down the drains. It's not much. She might stay outside in my front yard all winter because of numerous circumstances in my life, which is just fine, because it kind of gives you like a little bit of hope that she's out there. And I don't mind that. So that's going on. And I did my Halloween giveaway, and everybody finally, I had to message somebody, but they finally responded, and I sent all the prizes out, which was great. I'm setting my hair again. Yesterday when I had my morning coffee that you don't know about, I did a dry set with curling iron, and that went just fine. I thought, this is my first wet set that I have done since my surgery, and since I've done in months and months. So one of our YouTube family members here said, really miss your wet sets and seeing in curlers and stuff, and which is really nice. So here you go, here they are, and they're asking for me to do hair tutorials and comb outs and stuff like that, and I'm going to, because I'm not a makeup person, I'm not a makeup teacher, I am not a hair tutorial person, but I thought, you know, there's other people like me who don't have skills, and this, I freeball it when I do my hair. Honestly, I just freeball it, let it kind of go where it will. I don't have setting patterns. I don't try to do whatever. So I thought I'm just going to share, after all my trials and tribulations of hair, what I found works the easiest, and what I do and how I do my hair. And I thought I'm going to share that because I enjoy doing it and I love it. And you guys have been asking, people have been asking me to share it, so I'm gonna, and it is what it is, and I'm not gonna do any fancy setups. I'm just gonna put it where it is, because all you know, guys, I have no lighting. I have my tripod and have my little teeny $99 point and shoot camera, and that's all I have, and I'll do the best I can with that. And I think I'm just gonna set up a mirror right. See, I lift my arm up. It's like, ugh. Set my mirror up right here so I can do it, and the best that I can. I just gotta find some type of mirror set up for that. And I'm gonna share that stuff next weekend. I have no plans at all to do anything, so unless I get called in because we're doing computer startup, the new computer system. But I haven't heard that. So my plan is to do my vintage makeup tutorial. And as you know, I have it all ready and set up, and I'll just do that sitting like right here with you with a little mirror here, because that's just gonna be a mess. I'm not gonna do like, decided not to do talkovers and shots, and I'm just going to go like this, like we're having conversation, like we always do, and show you the best that I can. And then I have the giveaway box already with a bunch of vintage makeup, which you are not supposed to use, but just so you could see it and play with it and see what it's all about. Some vintage makeup, and then some brand new. I have a nice eyeshadow palette from the Balm in there. I have some Besame lipstick little samples, and it's like a little matchbook sample-y thing. And I have some Positions Formula makeups, because I really love that brand. It's cruelty-free. So some of them are vintage inspired, new made makeup, and some of them are just makeups that I really like, and I'm just going to share them with you, because I've kind of, after this whole journey of cruelty-free, I've found what works for me, what I'm happy with, and work for my skin, and the brands that I like. So I'm going to share some of that stuff. So some of it will be true vintage makeup just to play with you. We're not supposed to use it. And vintage inspired, and some of my favorite makeup stuff that I've gotten deals on, because like I'll get a deal on something, I'll buy it. If they're like half price or a really good deal, I'll buy a couple of them. But you got to use your makeup up. So I just thought I'm going to share that with you. I'm a bargain hunter, you know. So that will be coming up. I'm going to tape that next week. I'm very excited. And my face, I think because I'm eating better, I'm feeling better. Some of these personal stressors that are kind of releasing out of my life, and I'm coming to terms with the way my life is, and it's going to be. My skin's been better too, which is kind of crazy. So my skin's good that when I do my tutorial, it's not going to be like, oh, there's zits all over. Not that I would care anyway, because you get them, yeah, you get them at my age. What the heck is that? So that was going on. So my camper and all that. And then I finally heard back from Oxy Brand. I sent them 2 emails. One, I said, do I need to contact Better Business Bureau? Finally got an email back. Sorry you've had this issue with our foot wraps. That was from months ago. We've had other people complain. Did you? Yes, I used it correctly. Yes, I did what I was supposed to. So we like to send you a few products to, say we're sorry. I'm like, okay. So I thought, good, because I can't even tell you what I've spent on creams and lotions to compensate for the awful, peeling, painful feet that I've been putting with. So I had higher expectations. So I'll show you what they sent me. I was disappointed and I let them know that. So, okay, my feet are just peeling in a big old awful mess, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to send me a pumice stone. Okay, some tweezers and a nail file. I did get a Calm foot treatment box of a couple. That's all I got. And I wasn't expecting money or cash, but they make all these kinds of products, because they sent me this. And I said, so I sent it back, said, I'm very disappointed. I have spent so much money on products to try to compensate, clear up my feet, get them back, cover up the pain. So I've spent a lot of money on, like, I don't know, $25 out of my own pocket of money trying to get me, and it took two months totally to get them to normal. So if they would have sent me, they have this pampering foot set to calm your feet, foot soak mask, it's steps. So this is like one treatment in here. I guess I'm gonna look at it. There's one treatment. If they would have sent me a pack of, here is 4. So here's 4 weeks of foot pampering and treatments for you, and a couple other things to help with your feet, to help with the problem. I said I would just like to be put back to the point that I was at, compensated to an equal. They sent me an email saying, sorry, that's all you're getting. Too bad, so sad. So it is. So, I got probably, I don't know, out of their pocket probably cost them $4. If not, probably not even that. $2 out of their pocket. Very disappointed to send them back. Very disappointed. I was hoping you would send me some products to help with the problem, and not. It is what it is. I just know I'll never use that Onyx professional callus removing foot booties ever again in my entire life. Probably will never use any of them again, just because of fear of that happening. But that was the brand, because there's more than me just had problems, and she did state that. And my dog's like going crazy on the carpet. So anyway, that's what came out of my foot callus, or my foot callus booty dilemma usage, is I got a few products, and like, you should be like, happy you got that. I'm like, yeah, it's better than nothing, but it was like trying to put a cork in a dike that has a hole, like the little boy who put his finger in the dike to hold it from. It was like, really, that was just kind of like, here, this will shut her up type thing. But it is what it is, and I went back and said, I was expecting more from your company, just to at least compensate me with, your products to put me back where I was for what I've had to spend and what I've gone through. And it's like, I'm sure that was like, because they probably got so many of these now, that they sent a lot of these little, here you go, shut up packages out. And you're not getting anything else from us. We want to go ahead, but they know that most individuals, unless they end up with a doctor in the ER or I don't know, something, aren't going to go any further than sending a couple emails. So it was like a band-aid. Here's a bandage for it. So it is what it is. I won't use any of the products. Anyway, I'll give them to somebody for a gift, because it just irritates me. It just irritates me, is that really after all the time I went through with that, that's what you're going to send me? Thanks for the customer service. It is what it is. Like I said, somebody's going to give them for a gift. So that was because I have all these things I got to tie up with you guys. So that was the end tail part of my foot issue, my shoulder issue, my up north camper. It's like the end of the season is done. So the things I have coming up for me well, we're almost done with October. And since I didn't really decorate much and don't have much out, the whole pickup of Halloween decorations for my house will be minimal. It won't take me very long. I do have my Thanksgiving stuff here and all ready to put out. And I was like, just put out like a cornucopia and some pilgrims and little stuff like that, just to make little more fall festive harvest. So that's what I'll do, a little bit of decorating. I don't have to work for a couple more weekends. Like I said, maybe this upcoming weekend I might work to help out a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll see. And then getting ready for Turkey Day. And having everybody over Thanksgiving and everything, and that will be fun. And I have learned my lesson, and I get all my turkey stuff several weeks before Turkey Day, because do not go the weekend or the week of Thanksgiving to get stuff, because the stores are hectic. No matter when you want to go to get it, it always seems to be busy and packed, and I don't like to deal with all the crowds in that manner of shopping. So I will get that all finished and ready to roll, and we are to the point, I think, at our house with what we have doing, and my son bringing stuff over from his father's. We're going to get a dumpster. We have stuff that we're going to haul away, and we have so much, and we've got a pile in front of our garage right now that I think that we are going to get a small dumpster, maybe something that we can keep for a month. I don't know how that works, if you're only allowed to have it a week or a month, and have it a month, and then really start pitching stuff, he's trying stuff on Facebook garage sale. I've got stuff on there. It's not moving. I got stuff out in the front yard. That's a nice shape that I have free on, but now the snow's starting to accumulate. So I think I'm just going to get rid of a lot of stuff. I've already taken one huge load to Salvation Army. I will take probably 2 more loads to Salvation Army, but some stuff I am just going to throw out. Some of it is like, I got a vintage lawn chair that if somebody wanted to fix it, needs to be fixed, and wanted to re-web it. But I tell you what, right there you're looking at, to re-web it and fix it, you're looking at $40 or $50 for this. And I don't even know if you can really fix it, bend it, the metal and stuff back to where it would work well. So I think I'm just going to pitch it. Maybe somebody, the garbage people who come and pick that stuff up will go, oh, look at that treasure, and dig it out of there. But I'm going to get rid of it, because some of it's stuff that I don't even feel that it would be good enough to take to Salvation Army, that it needs so much repair. And I like to take things that are in decent shape. And I take stuff to Salvation Army that is vintage too, if it's in nice shape. But if it's to the point where I got it because it was vintage and it was really crappy, and I don't even see enough where I can fix it and clean it up and stuff, I think I'm just going to pitch it, put it in the dumpster and stuff, because it's kind of beyond the point of, but I got a good deal. Yeah, and it was only $1, Mary, because it's not worth fixing up, or it's not a piece that you would put that much time and money into it. It's not that type of vintage thing. It's like a lawn chair, So some stuff we're just going to get a dumpster when we get to that point, because it's all sitting in front of my garage right now. We're going to go get all my Christmas, Halloween totes, all of that out of storage, I think, over at Gary's father's house. And we feel it's time to move some of that stuff out of there. We're going to take that out and really start purging and going through that stuff. And my son's here, and he's one who gets attached stuff like I do. What out of this stuff that we have do you want to keep because it means something to you? Because I'll pass it to you. If it doesn't mean anything, or it's a broken, we had a couple of things that are broken, but oh, I remember that. But stuff, I don't think you can even fix it. They're like little animatronic things that the heads broke off. I don't think you can fix it. Something there. I know you remember it from when you were little, but I don't think you can even fix it. Let's just get rid of it. I know it's hard. I'm the same way. He's the same way. Oh, that's why you see on those hoarder shows, you'll see like parents and children living together with all of this hoarding stuff. I'm like, we're not going to be those people. We're not going to have some family member or friend call us, report us to hoarders. We're not going to get there, right? We're going to get close to there. We're going to get rid of stuff now. You can't attach. Some of the stuff that we have, it doesn't have any, if it has a personal attachment to me because it was a family related type of deal, I'll keep it and see if I can fix it. If not, it's going to go. If it's not, if it's something that I got a good deal on somewhere and I don't have room for it, I'm not going to use it, nor will I ever use it. I'm going to get rid of it also. I'm just going to do it and start. I have lots of vintage clothes. I keep thinking my Etsy store that I'm going to put on it, but I think I'm going to send, instead of selling it individual lots, because I work full time, and I will always be working full time, I think, until I retire now. I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to go to 4 days a week like I was hoping for. That's okay. I'm going to take other stressors out of my life, so I'll be key that way. I just got to tell my supervisor that I don't want to cut back now, but it'll be all right. But I'm trying to declutter and de-stress my life more than I ever have, just because I want to simplify everything in my life. I'm trying to simplify everything, and whatever you need to do to take steps to do that is what I'm working on. And my son is going to be working on it. We're going to work on it together, and ease our lives up in more than one way, and that's the way it's going to be. And that's what we're doing. But we're excited and have a good outlook on it, and we'll be okay. Everything comes out in the wash, kind of, so to speak. So just getting ready for Thanksgiving, and that I don't have any other plans. Nothing on the books, nothing on the agenda. Just living life, working my life. Gonna do my makeup thing, gonna do my hair thing, and then it will be the beginning of December. You know, this month we're gonna buzz through it. It's gonna be November 1st this week. We're gonna buzz through this month, and then we'll be into December, and it's the St. James wine tasting, and me and my cousin are gonna go to that. We have our tickets purchased and bought, and my son, we have 4 tickets, so me and Christy can go for sure, and I'm not sure. My son and maybe a friend of his is gonna try to go. But right now Seth is not working, and the new job that he was working with the family went down the tubes super fast. And nothing on his end, it was on Gary's father's end. He quit his job to work the family business with my husband, and everybody was on board and everything was great the first couple weeks, and then everything just went down the tubes. It was so sad. Nothing on my son's part. He learned everything fast. He was doing it. He was working independently. He was closing up and doing everything like that after a week. And then the business owner, who's not my husband, he is a manager, but not really. He just works there too. The business owner, which is Gary's father, just made it exceedingly hard to work there and intolerable to work there, or nor would he work with Gary or my son or myself. There was no bending, no compromising, and it was just extremely unreasonable to the point my son respectfully left. Had a meeting and talked, which did not get anywhere. But you cannot reason with the unreasonable. So that's why we're all kind of where we are right now and dealing with everything that we can, our work lives, our personal lives. My son Seth is looking for a job now because he quit his extremely well-paying job and took over a $10 an hour pay cut to help my husband manage the family business. And it just went south so fast in ways that we couldn't even have fathomed or wrapped our heads around that. It's sad. It's sad. I feel extremely sad for Gary. I feel awful for my son. I feel pity for myself also for dealing with everything that the outcome of all of this has made for all of our lives and hard on all our lives. But when you're working with somebody like that, because you can't work with somebody like that, and the result of all of this has affected all our lives irreparably, which is sad, but we're all trying to pick ourselves back up and live our lives and do what we can, and I'll stay on friendly bases and with the ones that we can. Unfortunately, all communications has been cut off with Gary's dad, with me and my son, because it was just like, I can't even imagine these things could happen until they happen to you, and you're like, you just shake your head. It gives you a better understanding of why his brother left the business a couple years ago, because of the same reasons and the unreasonable demands and just coping with somebody that you can't cope with. So that's that. But we're all okay. Everything is okay. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I'm not down about it. I've worked through all of that. I am to this place where I am now of, what would the word be? Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay dealing with everything, and everything is okay, and I am calm. I'm not anything. I'm not sad anymore, because you get to a point where you know that you've done what you can yourself, which is good. And you just hope others do well and are able to thrive and live their lives the best way they can in their circumstances, I guess. So me and my son will be fine and dandy, and I hope everybody finds their own way. But sometimes people have to find their own way, and you can't help them, which is sad because you want to, but sometimes you just can't. So we're all okay there. We're looking forward to the future, and Thanksgiving coming up, and I've got stuff on. I have a very good outlook. I try not to be too negative and try to look on the bright side, but there has to be a bright side to look on, and I have that. I mean, I have a great family unit and a great job, and my son Seth will bounce back from this. It's just sad when you see that something happens to your son. And I think you as an individual will put up with a lot of things in your life from, not your immediate family, but family by marriage, I guess I'll say. You'll put up with a lot and tolerate a lot in your life because of the sake of the marriage and stuff. But when those things affect your children and your child and your child's life, then you look at things a lot different, and you change your perspective quite drastically. And certain things just are not forgivable, which is, it's just the truth. And sometimes you just have to look at the truth straight in the eye and see what it is. And an ace is an ace, a spade is a spade, and it is what it is, and move on with your life and don't dwell on it and don't suffer anymore. So thanks for coming over for coffee, and we'll see you next time when we do either our hair brush out or roller set, or morning coffee again, or my vintage makeup putting on. Cannot wait to do that. I'm all ready to roll. I'm shooting, I'm planning, I'm hoping to do it next weekend. So till we see each other again, everybody take care. Thanks for sitting in. I'm sorry, this coffee was just kind of a Debbie Downer in a way, but kind of in another way it isn't. So everybody take care, look on the bright side, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.